Can a single fruit truly alter the fate of an entire nation? President Ibrahim Traoré has declared mango farming a symbol of resilience and ambition. Under his direction, the country is rejuvenating aging orchards and establishing new ones. The vision is audacious. Make the mango the backbone of a stronger, fairer future by the year 2030. In the heart of West Africa, Burkina Faso is staking its future on the mango. Across sun-baked fields and scattered villages, hundreds of thousands of new mango seedlings are taking root. Each sapling represents a quiet revolution, a chance for rebirth, unity, and survival against daunting odds. This is not just another farming initiative. The mango strategy is a bold national experiment. Transform the rural economy, empower communities, and recast Burkina Faso's global image, all through the humble mango. The government is not merely planting trees. It is sowing the seeds of hope and agency. But the stakes are sky high. If the mango revolution falters, rural poverty could deepen. Vital export markets may be lost, and the nation's spirit could erode. Yet, if it thrives, Burkina Faso could emerge as an agricultural powerhouse, a beacon for Africa, and proof that homegrown solutions can rewrite a nation's destiny. So, can a single mango tree spark a transformation? The answer is quietly growing, one root at a time, across the red earth of Burkina Faso. But building a national movement around a single fruit is no simple feat. The path to a mango-powered future begins in the fields, where hope and hardship are closely entwined. How did a simple fruit become the beating heart of Burkina Faso? For generations, mango trees dotted the countryside, planted for their sweet shade, their sustenance, and their beauty. They stood watch over fields and villages, part of everyday life, but little more than that. A seasonal treat, a family's refreshment on the hottest days. In those years, the mango season became a lifeline. Orchards buzzed with energy. Men and women picked fruit under the rising sun. Others dried mango slices, sorted and packed boxes for export, or drove trucks to distant borders. Mango money patched up homes, sent children to school, and wove new hopes into daily life. In towns like Bobo Dioulasso, the entire community pulsed with excitement when the first mangoes turned ripe. But then, change rippled through the land. By the late 1980s and into the 90s, mangoes were no longer just gathered for local markets or shared at home. With the opening of export routes to Europe, mangoes began to travel far from their roots. For the first time, rural families saw hard cash arrive with the harvest. A bumper crop could pay for school books, medicine, or spark a tiny business. Mangoes became tickets to new possibilities, fuel for dreams once thought out of reach. Let's paint a picture in a remote village. Before the mango boom, their income was unpredictable, tied to the ups and downs of staple crops. But when European buyers came calling, everything changed. One good mango harvest meant the difference between sending a daughter to secondary school or keeping her at home. It meant being able to buy a bicycle for the first time, or finally repairing a leaky roof. These are not abstract changes. They are lived realities for countless families. Yet, sweetness turned to worry. Many orchards aged, their trees yielding less fruit each year. Fruit flies and other pests invaded, sometimes ruining almost an entire harvest. The weather became less predictable. Years of drought, sudden storms. For families relying on mango income, each season felt riskier than the last. A slow, creeping crisis, threatening both stability and hope. But a new vision is taking root. President Ibrahim Traoré and his allies believe the mango can become a symbol of renewal and pride for the entire nation. Behind every golden mango in Burkina Faso, danger is quietly growing. Today, that crisis looms larger than ever. Without bold action, Burkina Faso could lose one of its strongest engines for rural prosperity and national export. Millions face the risk of sliding deeper into poverty. The nation's economic foundation and the futures built on mangoes stand on the edge of withering away. Burkina Faso is not the first nation to pin its hopes on a single crop. History offers both inspiration and warning. Think of the Irish potato, once a symbol of abundance, but later a cause of famine. Or Ghana's cocoa, which transformed a nation but also created dependence. The lesson? A single fruit can be a blessing or a burden, depending on how it is managed. Wander through the mango orchards, and a troubling truth emerges. Most trees are not young and vibrant. They are aging titans, many planted more than 3 decades ago. Their fruit is smaller, their yields are dwindling, and the sweet taste of the past is fading. This silent crisis threatens future harvests and the dreams of families who rely on them. But time is only one enemy. Hidden among the leaves are relentless fruit flies and other destructive pests. Each season, they can wipe out entire crops, turning expected abundance into sudden loss. Scarred, damaged mangoes are rejected by exporters, stripping farmers of their chance to earn vital income from foreign markets. The climate, once a reliable ally, now betrays the growers. Rain arrives late, if at all. Heat waves scorch the earth, and violent storms can destroy blossoms before fruit even appears. Drought is a constant shadow, making every harvest a perilous bet. Smallholder farmers face these threats with almost no support. Few have training in new techniques, irrigation to save their crops, or fertilizer to boost fertility. Most cannot afford to replant dying orchards or guard against invading pests. They are expected to meet the strict demands of global buyers with only the most basic tools and knowledge. International export markets are unforgiving. Only flawless, pest-free mangoes pass inspection. If Burkina Faso cannot deliver, the doors to Europe and beyond slam shut. For farmers, that means no sales, no jobs, and no money to build a better future. But in the heart of this crisis, a movement is taking root. Bold new strategies and leadership are rising to meet the challenge. The stakes are enormous. Without urgent change, Burkina Faso risks losing not just a fruit, but a crucial lifeline. Millions of rural families depend on mangoes for income, for work, and for hope. If these threats are not faced, the nation could lose both its export earnings and its people's dreams. A quiet revolution is underway in Burkina Faso, one seedling at a time. Consider the case of a smallholder named Awa in Kudugu. For years, her family depended on their 10 aging mango trees. One year, a fruit fly infestation destroyed nearly her entire crop. The family lost out on needed cash, and Awa's son had to drop out of school because they could not afford his fees. Multiply Awa's situation by hundreds of thousands, and you begin to see the scale of the challenge. This is no ordinary campaign. The Renewal Initiative intends to double or even triple the annual mango crop before the decade closes. The mission is clear yet daring. Breathe life into aging orchards, turn them into engines of prosperity, and elevate mango farming as the backbone of rural life by the year 2030. Guided by President Ibrahim Traoré's determined vision, the nation is wagering its future on a single golden prize, the mango. In a sweeping act of faith, the government has delivered more than 400,000 mango seedlings to farmers, planting not just trees, but a renewed sense of possibility in rural hearts. To understand the magnitude of this action, recall similar agricultural transformations. In Vietnam, government support for coffee planting in the 1980s led to a boom that lifted millions from poverty. In Ethiopia, a concerted push to expand teff production revolutionized local diets and created new export markets. Burkina Faso hopes to replicate such sweeping change, using the mango as its catalyst. Yet, planting is just the beginning. The plan stretches further, envisioning thousands of new orchards and the introduction of hardy mango varieties, trees bred to withstand heat, shrug off pests, and flourish as climate patterns shift. The program includes hands-on training in climate-smart agriculture, arming farmers with new techniques, and Burkina Faso with a reputation for innovation in African horticulture. Opportunities are ripening, especially for women and the young. New livelihoods are opening up in processing, logistics, on digital agriculture, fields once closed to rural families. From bustling packing stations to virtual fruit markets, a generation is discovering skills, confidence, and hope in the mango economy. Training workshops are being held from Gorom Gorom to Gawa, where agronomists teach farmers about grafting, composting, and integrated pest management. Demonstration plots allow villagers to see firsthand the difference that new practices can make. The impact is immediate. Farmers who once lost half their crop to fruit flies now see healthy orchards and fuller baskets. For years, most of the wealth from Burkina Faso's mangoes vanished abroad as raw exports. Now, the government is determined to reverse that flow. By boosting local processing, turning fresh fruit into dried mango, juices, and snacks, more value stays at home, growing businesses and sending Burkina brands onto global shelves. Take, for example, Mariam, a young entrepreneur from Ouagadougou. She started a small business drying mango slices with her mother's recipes. With support from a government-backed microloan, she hired 3 neighbors, expanded her operation, and now sells her products at local markets and via social media. Stories like Mariam's are becoming more common, signaling a shift in who controls and benefits from the mango value chain. The transformation is not only financial. Mango trees shelter the land, their roots gripping soil against erosion, while their broad leaves conserve moisture and shield companion crops. They also capture carbon from the air, making every orchard a bulwark against climate change. In the city of Bobo Dioulasso, a new factory processes surplus mangoes into juice, employing dozens of local youth. The factory's output not only reduces waste, but creates a recognizable brand that supermarkets in Abidjan and Dakar are starting to stock. Each carton sold is a small victory in the campaign to keep profits in Burkina Faso. A study by the University of Ouagadougou found that mango orchards planted in the 2010s have reduced soil erosion by up to 20% in some regions. In villages where trees were lost to logging, replanting mangoes has helped restore the microclimate and attracted birds and pollinators back to the fields. The stakes are immense. If this vision fades into empty promises, nothing will change. Old struggles will linger, and futures will slip away. But if the plan takes root, Burkina Faso could emerge stronger, more self-reliant, and admired, a nation proving that even a single fruit can inspire a renaissance. Still, grand visions demand practical action. What must happen next to bring these ambitions to life? And how will technology and shifting global markets shape the ultimate harvest? The future depends on more than seedlings and slogans. It will require grit, innovation, and navigating obstacles as daunting as they are unpredictable. Tomorrow's mango orchards will be unrecognizable compared to those of today. Picture a modern farm in the heart of Burkina Faso. Solar-powered pumps deliver water to trees, even through the harshest dry seasons. Farmers use mobile phones to connect with experts far away, receiving instant advice about weather, pests, and the perfect harvest time. Chemicals are no longer the first line of defense. Instead, growers turn to biological controls, introducing natural predators that hunt down fruit flies and other threats. High-tech drones glide overhead, scanning each field and alerting farmers to problems before they spread. The revolution is not just in the fields. Every crate of mangoes now carries a digital tag, tracked by new traceability systems. Global buyers can see exactly where the fruit comes from and how it was grown. Meeting tough export standards is no longer uncertain. It is assured. A cooperative in Ziniare has piloted the use of solar irrigation, allowing them to maintain steady production even during droughts. Another group in Bonfora uses WhatsApp to share pest alerts and coordinate bulk sales, giving them leverage with exporters. These practical steps are making high-tech solutions accessible even to small-scale farmers. Across villages and towns, factories buzz with new activity. Surplus mangoes are transformed into dried fruit, juices, jams, and snacks. This processing means more jobs, less waste, and higher earnings for farmers, so almost nothing is lost. In one scenario, a family grows mangoes, dries the surplus fruit, and sells it to a local school, providing both income and nutritious snacks for children. Another entrepreneur develops a mango-based energy bar marketed to cyclists in Europe. These new business models are not dreams, they are already taking root. By the year 2030, these changes ripple far beyond the orchards. Rural youth and women, once compelled to migrate, now build careers at home. Profits from mangoes help fund schools and clinics, while greener land sustains families for generations. This is not only Burkina Faso's story. The goal is to see Burkinabe mangoes feed Africa and reach even further, strengthening trade and unity across the continent. National pride grows as the world trusts the country's fruit, while local people shape their economic future. A mango seedling is small, but the dream it carries is vast. But will tradition give way to transformation? The final test for Burkina Faso's mango dream lies in the hands of its people. Consider the African Continental Free Trade Area, which promises to ease barriers between countries. Burkina Faso's mangoes could soon travel more easily to neighboring Niger, Ghana, and beyond, fostering not only commerce, but regional solidarity. Yet, everything depends on one critical choice: adoption. If farmers and entrepreneurs seize these innovations, the nation flourishes. If they do not, the old cycle of poverty, waste, and lost opportunities will continue. In every sapling planted in Burkina Faso's red earth, there is more than the hope of sweet fruit. There is a vision, a nation determined to root its future in the strength of its soil and the resolve of its people. This is not just farming, it is a test of unity, leadership, and the belief that Burkina Faso's destiny can change from the ground up. President Ibrahim Traoré has made mango farming a national cause. Under his leadership, agriculture is reimagined, not as mere survival, but as a path to pride, self-reliance, and shared prosperity. With hundreds of thousands of young trees already in the earth, the message is unambiguous. The government, farmers, and entire communities are betting on themselves, no longer waiting for outside answers. Yet every seedling in the ground is a promise honored. Each new orchard brings the nation closer to food security, resilience against a changing climate, and the kind of economic strength that cannot be taken away. Choosing the mango as a symbol of national rebirth is both practical and powerful. It is about feeding families, but also about inspiring an entire generation to believe in tomorrow. The stakes are immense. If this bold mango vision succeeds, Burkina Faso will offer the world a story of transformation sparked by determination and hard work, not by handouts or luck. It means consistent income for families, jobs for young people, stronger villages, and a proud new place for Burkina Faso on the global stage as an exporter. If it fails, the country risks becoming a cautionary tale, a reminder of what happens when hope outpaces action or promises are not kept. This movement is about more than mangoes. It is about shaping a nation where rural families can dream bigger, where communities are not forced to rely on foreign markets or uncertain aid, and where every citizen feels ownership in the country's progress. There is risk, but also a rare possibility, the kind that only emerges when people unite for something greater than themselves. Above all, the plan must remain flexible. If global demand shifts, the mango sector should be ready to pivot, perhaps focusing more on dried fruit for Middle Eastern markets, or organic production for Europe. By staying agile, Burkina Faso can avoid the pitfalls that befell other single-crop economies. As Burkina Faso moves forward, the world is watching. Will this gamble on the humble mango bear fruit for all to see? The answer depends on vision, courage, and the power of community. In this journey, everyone, from farmers to leaders to citizens, holds a stake. What practical steps can ensure this vision becomes reality? First, continued government investment in research and extension services is essential. Second, partnerships with international development organizations can bring in expertise and funding, as seen in successful programs in Kenya and Rwanda. Third, empowering farmer cooperatives to collectively bargain and process fruit will strengthen their position in the value chain. Fourth, investing in rural infrastructure, roads, cold storage, and digital connectivity will reduce post-harvest losses and open new markets. The next time you hold a mango, remember, it is more than a fruit. It is a seed of hope, a symbol of resilience, and perhaps the root of a nation's rebirth. The future is quietly growing, one tree at a time.